No Ordinary Time, Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt, The Home Front in World War II, 1994, is a historical biography written by Doris Kearns Goodwin. Drawing on interviews with 86 individuals who had personal connections with the Roosevelts, Goodwin delves into the psychological dynamics of President Franklin D. Roosevelt and First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt during the challenging years of World War II. The narrative commences with Hitler's declaration of war in Europe. While President Roosevelt engages in extensive conferences with his advisors day and night, Eleanor, who is away from home, learns of the news later through newspapers. Due to her involvement in charitable and social work, Eleanor frequently finds herself away from home during her husband's presidency. Her reports from these experiences prove invaluable in helping President Roosevelt gauge the sentiments of the American public. President Roosevelt formulates a plan to equip the United States against foreign threats, advocating for collaboration between big businesses and the government to manufacture necessary weaponry. However, Eleanor, a staunch pacifist, remains skeptical of the motives behind big business. The couple's marriage, once blissful, has been strained since Franklin's extramarital affair. Over time, they have transformed into more of a business partnership, with Eleanor providing valuable insights to further Franklin's political career. Nevertheless, as the war unfolds, Eleanor starts feeling marginalized within her husband's presidency. Fortunately, she discovers a new purpose leading a refugee organization. Goodwin also explores Franklin's affair with his secretary, which created a rift between him and Eleanor. Missy Lohand, who was considerably younger than Franklin, provided him with nursing care after he became paralyzed. In contrast, Eleanor showed little interest in aiding Franklin's recovery. Consequently, Missy assumed the role of the de facto First Lady during Eleanor's absences from the White House, assisting Franklin in hosting foreign dignitaries and officials. In 1940, Franklin secures a nomination for an unprecedented third presidential term. In this extraordinary circumstance of a nation at war, Franklin Roosevelt understands the significant challenges ahead as European allies seek assistance from the United States. However, he faces opposition from a majority of Americans who are reluctant to deploy troops overseas. Moreover, Franklin must navigate the complex task of revising tax laws to incentivize businesses involved in weapon production for the war effort. Doris Kearns Goodwin delves into Eleanor Roosevelt's personal relationships, particularly with her 6 children, from whom she remains somewhat distant. The upbringing of the children mostly falls under the care of Eleanor's mother-in-law, a decision that Eleanor later regrets as the children grow older. While traveling and engaging in social work, Eleanor forms various friendships that contribute to her cause, notably with Lorena Hickok, a lesbian newspaper reporter. Initially close, Eleanor gradually distances herself from Lorena after benefiting from her support in advancing her career. In the prelude to the war, Eleanor delivers speeches emphasizing thrift and patriotism. However, these messages resonate poorly with most Americans, who harbor little patience for such appeals, especially given the perceived profiteering of big businesses involved in the war effort. Following the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, America officially enters the war. Goodwin addresses a conspiracy theory suggesting that Franklin had prior intelligence about the attack and allowed it to rally support for his war efforts. Nevertheless, she dismisses this theory, highlighting Franklin's strong moral compass and genuine love for the Navy. During the course of the war, Franklin forges close alliances with Winston Churchill and Joseph Stalin, engaging in frequent meetings to strategize the path to victory. These conferences yield diplomatic successes, including Franklin's persuasive efforts to secure Stalin's assistance in defeating Japan. Additionally, the establishment of the United Nations takes shape during this period. In 1944, Franklin Roosevelt secures an unprecedented 4th term as president. In the aftermath, it becomes evident that the Allies will emerge victorious in the war, leading to a series of meetings among the leaders to determine the fate of the Axis powers. A significant portion of Eastern Europe is allocated to Stalin, transforming it into the Soviet Union. Meanwhile, Eleanor Roosevelt grapples with finding her place in the ongoing war effort. She dedicates herself to several noble causes, advocating for equal employment opportunities for factory workers at home and fighting for the recognition of black soldiers. Additionally, she visits veterans' hospitals and delivers impactful speeches at the United Nations and other political conferences, becoming the First Lady to engage in such activities. Franklin and Eleanor continued to collaborate as political partners until 1945, when Franklin's health takes a sudden turn for the worse. Sadly, he passes away during his fourth term as president, just a few months shy of the war's end. In December of that same year, Harry S. Truman appoints Eleanor as a delegate to the United Nations, allowing her to carry on her political career following Franklin's death. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.